Matt, welcome.
Okay.
Would you like to introduce yourself and actnano?
Sure. My name is Matt Blom. I'm the Senior Director for the Global Consumer Business with actnano. I've been with the company for about 2.5 years. Before that, many years with large chemical companies like a DuPont, like a DSM, PPG. I've been supporting consumer electronics in one way or the other since about 2008. When there's opportunity to work with actnano, it's obviously, up and coming, innovative technology. As far as getting more engaged into the PCBA, the active electronic side was also appealing. And so since that point, it's been a lot of growth and some great successes in the meantime. What actnano does, the core business is for PCBA protection. So it's a type of coating quite different than what's been used for the last 30 to 50 years, let's say. Where there's some restrictions. It's actually probably limited the amount of conformal coatings that's been used globally because it is quite clunky. Quite frankly, the old technology is quite clunky, where you have, it's cross-linked. It does contain many times it contains some undesirable materials like isocyanates, or in some cases like fluorine, which obviously is going away. I think both are probably going in the same direction eventually. This was recognized early, and the effectiveness was also of these coatings where you have to mask, and so you still have exposure to certain components is obviously not ideal. So that was a good, vision, quite frankly, for what this could do. Beyond that, so this obviously started 2012. Now we're based in Cambridge, and it's just been, what I've really enjoyed about working with actnano, quite frankly, is obviously the technical team is rock solid, right? You probably learned that already. There's a lot of smart people, but to be able to take what the customer is looking for, understand the application, understand the product, I'll call it boundaries of what can be done there, and really try to find a solution. I think the difference so far has been the ability to just try to find a solution, and the desire to try to find a solution. So I think that's what keeps people pretty well aligned as part of the company culture, quite frankly. That has been good relative to previous companies.
Very nice. So today, this is our first TDK Ventures Portfolio Summit. Mm-hmm. Have you enjoyed it? Did you find it valuable?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple 3 hours now. Had some nice conversations with folks. Obviously, I think there's some companies here that might be interested in discussing further about what they're kind of learning their product as it gets more exposure into the market. And then, as mentioned in the presentation, that's actually kind of our sweet spot, where you have these companies that really it's new design. They're trying to figure out what will break in some aspects, and that's when actnano can get involved. It's been enjoyable for sure.
Very nice. What does TDK goodness mean to you?
It just means what happened in Japan to me, right? That's my personal reflection of it. Absolutely exceeded expectations, and it's still continuing, right? That was just a seed that was planted, quite frankly. I was there last week.
What was this event? What did Chiaki, our startup liaison, do? And what is now the outcome?
Well, the way CTech was described to me was like it was the CES of Japan. I think that was actually described that way by Chiaki. We were trying to figure out what to do. Some good discussion, some good back and forth actually with Chiaki, and she kind of recognized, it'd be nice to have a demo. What does the demo look like? What's going to be eye-catching? She actually went back and got feedback from the marketing team about what's doable. And then you had lights, you had robotic fish in there. It was great. And then you had the rotating presentation. And then with that kind of attraction, obviously being part of the DDK booth, I think there was 9 different departments and actnano in there as well. That helped as well, I think, with just getting, this is a real company that's got something interesting to see. And so there was pretty much a line, almost around the corner, over a handful of us waiting in line to talk. And every time I was there, Chiaki was just there smiling, taking notes, taking cards, trying to answer questions. Anything that she couldn't answer, you would get an email. Actually, she wrote it down. We'd get follow-up emails the following week. So it's not just the presentation, the actual act of being there and being engaged with these customers. And it was also the follow-up and organizing them all in a way that was prioritized. It was the whole thing from start to finish, quite frankly. And then obviously we'd have follow-up discussions with them. Again, just there last week as the outcome, some major Japanese customer names. We're part of that, and we'll see where that goes.
I think finding customers that will bring you revenue and success is probably the best market TDK goodness.
Hard to argue with that.
Now, at the TDK Ventures Portfolio Summit, you've seen a number of portfolio companies presenting their projects. Which one was your favorite?
I mean, the one, just because it's so easy for me to visualize, would be that faction company. Well, I'd like to talk to them and to see what kind of challenges they might be having in this autonomous, driverless, type of device. And I see the vision, I see what they're doing, and that's pretty interesting, quite frankly. And to have it down to the cost per mile versus this other types of bulk cost that can be not quite as easy to understand.
Very nice. My last question is, where do you see actnano in 5 years?
Yeah, great question. I mean, it's been 2.5 years already. I think continued growth is going to be inevitable. It's required. I was just having this conversation earlier. I mean, the challenge that we run into is this can fit with a variety of different, customers. And it's a platform, quite frankly. And you have obviously, phones and drones and servers and cars and ADAS and so yeah, I feel like it's just with that kind of offering available, and we're touching on each of them as far as just seeing what resonates and what doesn't, and if the opportunity meets the interest of the customer, I think that'll be driving where things go, quite frankly.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Yeah.